What's one AI security control people ignore today, but that will become mandatory in next 2 or 3 years down the line? What is a skill that will matter much more for cybersecurity professional in the next 5 years than it does today?
We need to learn about the system thinking and design thinking because the next generation need to understand how the system talks each other and the data flow each other.
Like, what advice would you give to a security engineer who wants to understand agentic system, deeply doesn't know where to start?
Understand about the context of the scope, what kind of automation we need to do. For example, if an architecture or architect, they are doing certain tasks. So his role is into doing certain kind of he's following certain checklist. He's always doing these tasks day by day. He may need to think about, okay, can an agentic AI can do my task? Because it's every day I'm doing the same task or every week I'm doing same things. So based upon that context, we can put an agentic AI to automating these tasks. It can replace human, but same time, human in the loop should be there.
How should candidate prepare for interviews at the companies? What do interviewers actually test?
I test about their basic understanding about the architectures and how the system communicate each other. If you don't know something, okay,
You should accept.
yeah, should accept that.
If you summarize, don't try to fake us because beta, we already done all this thing. Welcome to the another episode. Today episode features someone whose professional journey is nothing short of inspiring. He has spent over 15 years working at the intersection of cybersecurity, cloud, AI, OT, IoT, and critical infrastructures. Field that define the future of digital security. What sets him apart is not just the depth of his technical knowledge, but the way he looks at security itself. He sees security not as a barrier, but as an enabler, something that builds trust, encourage innovation, and makes real progress possible. He has helped shape cloud security, responsible AI, major security transformation programs. And the way he brings architecture, governance, people, and technology together is truly rare in this industry. In today's conversation, he will take us through his journey, the challenges he faced, now he thinks about modern security, and what it actually takes to grow in this field. If you are trying to build a career in cybersecurity or cloud, you are going to get a lot of valuable clarity from this episode. So stay with us till the very end. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and it really helps to bring more conversation like us. So without any further delay, please welcome Mohammad Shiraz. So hi Shiraz, welcome to our podcast. So how are you feeling right now?
Ah, fantastic. I mean, this is my first podcast.
Okay.
So, of course, there is some kind of an excitement. Yeah. And thanks for having me here. Yeah.
So first, I want to know more about Shiraz as head of the cloud. Your journey first.
I started with zero. I mean, so there is nobody was there to give me some kind of advice that I have to do this so and so. I mean, back to 2009, and when financial crisis hit in Dubai, that's the time when I landed in Dubai, and it was pretty tough because the market is so bad. It's so hard to get the job over here. I started with a service support engineer role, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Then, even though you know that, I mean, in IT or even the digital side, I mean, there are plenty of branches, right? Like doctors, we need to specialize on something, whether it's a ENT, ortho, cardio, or something like that. Then I realized that, okay, this is a vast domain, the computer science. Uh, I was exploring networking initially and little bit kind of a system side, done kind of a CCNA, MCAC. But I realized that, I mean, this is not my cup of tea, whether it's a networking or system, but that gives me a basic, break to understand how the world works from a system side, networking side. Yeah, then I was reading couple of articles and other things. Then the information security that caught my eyes. Basically, the term security itself that caught my eyes. I was thinking that, okay, because everybody needs security, right?
Yes.
Like whether it's in a home or when you travel, then information security. I was exploring that that term. Then I realized that, okay, basically it is a CIA. I mean, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, then I started there. From there, getting into financial services industry, highly regulated environment. started with GRC, with some kind of a privacy. Explored that almost 4 years. Then the cloud was very hot cake at that moment. Everybody was talking about cloud. I was exploring the cloud initially back to 2015. Yeah, very early stage at that time. I mean, the cloud. Yeah, then I got into cloud. That journey, I was working with one of the biggest system integrator in the world. So that I was initially a consultant, deputed into one of the major government entities here based in UAE. Then another, the holding company based in Dubai. So I was part of their transformation, initially setting up the SOC, then cloud transformation programs, the multiple environments. So then I was hands-on there because I realized that, okay, I mean, learning something is good, very good, but when you start hands-on play with these cloud hyperscalers, hyperscalers portals, and it's so easy because initially I was very hesitant to be a technical guy because I'm more kind of a governance, risk, and compliance, because I'm a bit impatient to getting into a firewall or switches. You need to get into a jump server. So it's a huge, and I'm not patient enough to do so. But in cloud, everything is a click, 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 click. I mean, you just need to go in one way, whether creating rules in firewall, because basically it is a virtualized environment. Yeah, then from there, I got a chance to set up a private cloud back to in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So basically, they are building a private souvenir cloud. So I was one of the design authority, designed their cloud environment. Yeah, now currently I'm doing a massive transformation for one of the giga projects in Kingdom.
Wow.
There it all the technology comes together: AI, IoT, cloud, all the modern and emerging technologies. Yeah.
Excellent. So you have worked across cloud, OT, IoT, AI, and city infrastructure. Which of these domain creates the most unpredictable security challenges and why?
I would say AI, because we are getting to know about artificial intelligence. I mean, yeah, it's good for humanity, and it is also bad for humanity. This is what I'm thinking, and it's quite challenging nowadays. I'm just giving you an example. When we talk about the data security, I mean, we used to classify the data or classify the access, the data leakage prevention or whatever. Yeah, but when it comes to AI, it's not only problem about the data.
Right.
It's the problem about the your thoughts. Your thoughts are your data nowadays. So which means that is also leaking. Your thoughts, whatever thoughts or prompts you are getting for feeding into the AI environments.
Excellent. Yes.
So it is getting learned. Okay, and it's keep on learning. But we never know this will be used for some other malicious purposes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is a quite challenging, and there are lots of talks or research on these things. Especially from my side, I'm more advocating towards the responsible AI governance. I think we all have that responsibility.
Yes.
Especially we know the systems or we know the processes. We have done multiple 1,000+ risk assessment or maybe more than that. So why not? I mean, we can do the same way for the AI governance. Yeah.
Excellent. And indeed, Shiraz, matlab, I'm very impressed with that line that AI is not just about the data, it is all about the thought. And uh, I must say that someone is watching this video. After that, you just go to your LLM, you try ChatGPT and ask yourself. And you will shocked to see the answer and how they are close to you. They know a lot of things about you. And it's something really way beyond just our data related to your password. And I really, it's really good. So what is, there are few things that we can change here. The first security measure, what you read when we talk about the AI, it is just a normal thing.
Okay. I mean, I would say that context security, because that is a basic thing everybody need to understand. What what kind of prompts you are feeding into these systems. I would say that, okay, no, never share your personal weakness or your, the mental weakness, and even your something related to your personal. Okay, for example, okay, how can I improve my relationship with my XYZ or whatever? These things, you don't need to, maybe you can have a different prompts, giving more kind of a different context, not exactly related to Nitin or Shiraz or whatever. Maybe you can say, I'm working on something, XYZ, just rename those things. Okay, just give some other context. So that is a one thing about the AI security we can do, and never share too much information to AI, unless for work related. Okay, but even for the work related, leaking the sensitive information, that is also a huge problem every organization nowadays are facing, and it is leading us to block these AI system. But unfortunately, I'm not uh, advocate in terms of blocking these solution, because that kills the productivity of each users. But giving some kind of awareness, okay, this is what exactly you have to do. You should not feed a sensitive information to these models unless it is a dedicated model for your organization. So that's what most of the organization are chasing forward or racing forwards in terms of developing their own models. Yeah.
Indeed. So, what is a skill that will matter much more for cybersecurity professional in the next 5 years than it does today?
Lots of things will change. That's what I'm foreseeing, because the way, even in terms of the cyber security, now we all know about, lots of buzz about agentic AIs. So, and automation will be the key. And one thing we need to realize that, okay, AI is already there for last 15 years. It's not like when the major LLMs came into picture back to 2022, but AI is already there. So it's kind of getting the real data from the different endpoints or different sources. Then nowadays the system, it's a distributed architecture, because that's one of the growth of even the cloud.
Yes.
Previously, it was kind of a legacy, a monolithic architecture, a three-tier architecture or whatever. But now it's a distributed architecture, which means, A and B learn each other, or B and C learn each other, talk to each other. When it comes to the profile, so we need to learn about the system thinking and design thinking, because the next generation need to understand how the system talks each other and the data flow each other. So I think that is one of the important key factor for the next generation. Yeah.
Excellent. So, now, how should someone transition their career from DevOps to the cloud security? Tell us if you can make it a 90-day plan for them.
The DevOps is, I think it's part of the cloud, the cloud itself. And when it comes to linking cloud security with DevOps, we call it as a DevSecOps. Okay, so basically the development is happening in the cloud environment, and security. We need to integrate security into all the development life cycle. So basically, it starts with CID pipelines. Continuous integration and continuous development. So they need to think about what organization need. What is the context of the business requirement of the organization? Why they are developing this application? Whether it's a microservices, or it will be the microservices in DevOps. So based upon the organization business requirement, we can define the risk level, whether it's a critical or non-critical system, something like that. Then you can enforce the security controls, basically starting from the identifying the code repository, whether it's a GitLab or Gitya or whatever. Then integrate security tooling for the vulnerability scanning, whether it's a SAST, static application security analysis, or dynamic security application testing, all these things. And collaborate. That is one of the key requirement for security professional to collaborate with the development team, because I have seen lots of friction between DevOps team or development team with the security, because sometimes security will come and say you cannot do like that. So when you say something like to developer, that's hitting his ego.
Right.
Yeah, so they won't be like, and then they'll be thinking that who the hell he is asking me to do like this. So basically, you need to aware in both manners, into security engineer to educating how to collaborate, and educating developers how to integrate security into the development lifecycle. Because I can give you a real example. One of the developer, back to 6-7 years before, he asked me that, okay, this is a hurdle for us in terms of security, because it creates lots of time for us to integrate security into these pipelines. But basically, we can automate all these things. So, there are tools, there are processors to automate all the entire process. So once you automate, then okay, then just look into the picture, to the reporting, and there is setting up these processes. Who is responsible for each setting up the controls or fixing the vulnerabilities, all these things. So this is my advice to the entire DevOps thing. Yeah.
Which three public projects or portfolio items will make a junior security candidate stand out?
Specific to cloud security, definitely. The public projects like GitHub, because when you create these repository, because being a security professional, you research a lot in terms of cloud, in terms of security. Maybe you will develop a checklist, or maybe you will develop some type of automation script. So these things you can publish over the GitHub. It's a public project. Anybody can have an access. You can create a public version or private version of these repository. Then second, the communities, open source communities, or even there are cloud specific communities. I'm being a member of one of the cloud community in Dubai. So we do a roundtable conferences with all the leading professionals from this region. So we talk about the real life challenges. So I was involved in this XYZ project. So I had this kind of a challenges. So we share our values, we share our challenges. Maybe I get some kind of other perception from other side, and maybe other person will be getting some different perception from my end. So the collaboration is one of the key. Yeah.
Sound good to me. So, like, how should candidate prepare for interviews at the companies like Microsoft or similar? What do interviewers actually test?
When you ask me, I test about their basic understanding about the architectures and how the system communicate each other. That's one of the key important factors to me, because I don't like a person who will say that, okay, I will only do this, being a silo. No, silos will not work in cloud, and especially into the cloud security, because you need to collaborate with identity access management team, you need to collaborate network security team,
Yes.
DevOps team, resilience team, legal, privacy, procurement, whatever. End to end, we need to involve, because we know this information is flowing from one to another, and moreover, we may need to involve privacy team in terms of if there is a personal information processing, about the new regulations, or even it's not a new regulation like GDPR, now the PDPL, all these regulations are coming into picture. So that's one thing I would stress about, okay, design thinking and even the architecture, and willingness to learn, and what else? Then I would say that, they need to open to discussion. Okay, if you don't know something, okay,
You should accept.
should accept that. Okay, because each and every day we are learning. Maybe At the moment, you are learning something from me, and I'm learning something from your
Absolutely
questions.
correct.
Yeah. So keep it's a never-ending story. We are keep on learning these things. Yeah. I mean, uh, hard working will lead us. It will take some time. Okay, and I mean, success is not a short term. It's a long term project. So,
So if we
yeah.
summarize, don't try to fake us because beta, we already done all this thing. That's true. So when you architect cloud security for a large programs, what's the very first principle you never compromise on?
A great question, actually. So that is business requirement. What exactly business need? Why business is doing so? So because without understanding the context of the business, we cannot secure this environment. And moreover, it may create certain kind of a friction because ultimately, I strongly uh, I have a strong understanding about security is a business enabler. Cybersecurity is a business enabler rather than a showstopper. So because we need to understand what kind of a requirement is for business, and based upon that, we can design our the architectures because. The criticality of the business, for example, if it is a critical system, a crown jewel for the business, without that system, I mean, business cannot survive. Maybe a few hours of downtime, it will impact their financial or their reputation or whatever. So, so we need to design these security controls, basically a risk-based approach, I would say, mapping to the architectures, then enabling the risk management. So that is a key.
That sound good. So what's one AI security control people ignore today, but that will become mandatory in next 2 or 3 years down the line?
Oh, model access controls.
Okay.
Because I mean, models doesn't need the entire kind of access because nowadays they have a unlimited access. That's what I have seen in my when I do some kind of assessments on models. It is an open access to these environments. But now this because of the agentic revolution, so especially even the Microsoft is bringing their multi-agent capabilities in terms and tied up with their purview systems. So basically, each agents will have the kind of an level of access, the required access, and it's also quite challenging from an identity and access management perspective because uh, the machine identities. I mean, people back to a couple of years before, people are not care about the machine-based identity because they always care about users.
Yes.
But nowadays, I mean, people are realizing that okay, there are lots of machines. The automation is there. I mean, we may need to think about setting the right controls or right access based upon the least privilege principle or whatever. Then enforcing those controls through these interconnected systems. Yeah.
Excellent. So, uh, where should human oversight be non-negotiable in an AI-powered SOC?
Oh. I mean, even it is so this AI is getting into everywhere, whether it's a SOC or whether it's an architecture review, whether it's some kind of assessment. Uh, Human intelligence, it cannot be replaced. Okay, people may think that okay, they have a hypothetical scenario that AI will take control. Yeah, it can take it may take control if we don't design those systems in a right way, or if we don't govern those AI systems. But ultimately, human in the loop is ultimately it's one of the key requirement, and people need to understand about it. You can do automate, but whatever the suggestion or whatever the outcome is, AI is giving to you, that is not ultimately that may not be an ultimate truth because you may need to validate whatever the outcome is AI giving to you. I'm giving an example specific to SOC because, okay, you can automate level one, for example, and basic incident. Let AI analyze, okay, which system, based upon the criticality of those systems, they can classify whether it's a critical incident or medium incident, so and so. But when it gives you an post incident analysis or something like that, okay, humans come, I mean, let the security engineers or incident responders, they need to involved in the loop, and they need to validate these responses and correlate with the business what exactly why it is has generated.
Yes. So, like, what advice would you give to a security engineer who wants to understand agentic system, deeply doesn't know where to start?
uh, Understand about the context of the scope, what kind of automation we need to do. For example, if an architecture or architect or sorry architect or even the security engineer, they are doing certain task, so his role is into doing certain kind of a uh, he's following certain checklist, he's always doing these tasks day by day. So he may need to think about, okay, can an agentic AI can do my task, because it's a every day I'm doing the same task, or every week I'm doing same things. So based upon that context, we can put an agentic AI to automating these tasks. But it can't replace human, but same time human in the loop is should be there, because whatever the automation is doing by these agents, human need to verify as I said earlier, human need to verify these outcomes.
Oh, nice. So, what is a common way teams misuse the word risk, and how do you correct it in real time?
Teams always think that a vulnerability is a risk, okay, because vulnerability is a weakness, but its weakness can be exploited with something in the real life. So the risk is always about how it is impacting those organizations. So for example, a low level vulnerability, it may not be impacting the organization in very higher level, because there might be multiple security controls, whether it's a compensatory controls or the major controls or whatever. So for example, I mean, traditional example I can give, I mean, a medium level vulnerability on the web application. If there is a uh, web application firewall sitting top of the web application, and moreover there are access control or the data security and the network security layer is there. So the probability of impact is might be less. Like before, we are thinking that whether this vulnerability can take over these systems. So that is a common misunderstanding about the security professionals about these vulnerabilities. So that is a risk is not a vulnerability, yeah, but it can lead.
So that's amazing. And now we are moving to the another round, which is called rapid fire segment. And I have
Okay.
a few questions ready for you. So you have to answer it immediately. Okay.
Okay.
First tool you open in an incident.
Service management.
Okay. Could you do the best open for an enterprise AI workloads?
Of course.
Okay. One skill junior candidate lack most.
System thinking and architectures.
Okay. Most underrated security discipline.
Design thinking and system architecture.
Okay. One piece of advice you would had at the age of 25.
Success take times.
Pen test or purple team.
Purple team. Collaboration is
Most important.
most important.
Agentic AI, excited or concerned?
Both excited and concerned.
Preferred way to learn fast, books or hands-on?
Hands-on.
Excellent. Okay, so we are moving to the another round, that is trash or truth. Cloud security is just the vendor's problem.
Trash.
Okay. CSSP proves you understand real security.
Trash.
AI model don't need the same level of access control as databases.
Trash.
Security by design slows innovations.
Trash.
A SOC without threat hunting is obsolete.
Trash.
Zero trust is impossible to implement fully in the real world.
Trash.
So all are trash. Great. It was an amazing conversation with you, Shiraz, and I hope we have almost covered related to that. What's your personal advice if someone is watching to our podcast and that is something exceptional what we have discussed? Like, how is the world of this cloud and the AI and the future? What do you like to advise someone?
Yeah, see, we are already in a virtual world because giving my example itself, I mean, I started my hands-on into computer back to when I was 7, 8 years, when I dad bought me a Pentium 133
Yes.
computer back to 1992. So I started my journey from there. I mean, because by that time, I mean, very rare people had an opportunity to get into a computer. I'm glad that again, and I always thankful to Almighty and even with my father to giving that opportunity, getting into this world. And when the internet revolution came back to 1997, 1998, uh, we are already into a virtual world. And now you think about, I mean, because now we can correlate because I'm almost 40. I'm 40, sorry, I'm 40. I can correlate because I have seen the physical world and the digital world. So now everything works digitally. When if you buy a food, if you need to buy anything, or if you want to sell something, and if you want to make some kind of a payments, but the banking network and everything is a digital nowadays.
Yes.
So now we are in another realm. Okay, one is physical realm and other one is a digital realm.
Yes.
So securing that digital realm is an important thing because most of our time nowadays we are spending on digital realm. But same time we need to balance our life, our principles of our importance of our family, stress management, because all these things will come into picture when you getting into cybersecurity. Because I have faced these problems, so balance the life with your work is one of the key, and be passionate about what you do. I mean, why are you doing so? Okay, I'm a cloud security guy. I'm a cyber security guy, but I feel that I have a responsibility to secure the systems, and moreover, the whoever is interacting with that systems, and basically we are serving this humanities, right? I mean, it's a give and take, yeah, and ultimately that will give us a lead us to a purpose of life. I mean, being a cyber security, we are also contributing to the humanity.
Yes. One more question because of the continuous conversation I want to ask because most of these student, my work, what I do. So they usually ask, sir, which is better to choose, AI or cyber? How would you like to answer this question?
See, cyber is, it's a connected world, right? I mean, and security is the connected world's security, and AI is evolving. So you need to have a basic understanding about how the cyber works. And once you understand about the domains, whether it's a IAM, network security, data security, privacy, legal, or whatever, then you can pick and choose. And moreover, you may need to think about what kind of roles will be replaced by AI. For example, the research-based jobs, it's getting replaced. And be technical, hands-on, because and balanced technical with GRC too, because both are important. Because I started with GRC, then moved to technical. Still, I balance both, even though when I climbed into my career, into having more titles and so and so, but still I'm focused on balancing the technical and the functional GRC side, and try to learn more about how you can convey the technical risk or technical problems into risk based language. When you get into a leadership stage, the people who are sitting in the board level or the C levels, they don't care about the technical problems. Okay, they care about the business impact. So you need to understand, you need to learn to talk about the business language.
Nice. So I hope you had a great place to talk, and whatever you have shared, was really worthful. And makes sense to my audience as well. And guys, if you really enjoy the conversation, do not forget to like and subscribe, and do share this video to someone who really wants to know and grow in this domain. And thank you, Shiaz, once again to join us and share all the important information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nitin, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Same here.
Yeah.